Somebody asked me to see how it goes. Okay, I'm very excited. Can we start? Okay. Okay, so what did we say last time? Last time we said yes. Amar Rabuna. כל המספלל אחורי בייס הכנסת נקרא רשע. Person that davens behind the shul is called the rasha. שנאמר in Tehillim in chapter 12, סביב רשעים יסלחון. Around something, which is, as we say, it's around the shul, there is wicked people going around, which we want to say over here that the wicked people is the people that are davening outside the shul and not inside the shul. Krum Zulus Livnei Adam. So this Krum Zulus Livnei Adam, I don't even know how the article is going to touch it. How is he going to translate it? Because I really don't know what's the simple understanding, the literal understanding of Krum Zulus. I don't know. By the way, Amar Rabbi. Amar Rabbi lo amran ela de lo mi'ad rapei lebei knishta. It's only a problem if he's not facing the shul. אבל מעד רפי לבי כנישתא לאסלאן בה. If he's facing the shul, there is no problem. Okay, so again, somebody's davening outside, not good. He's a rasha, and then Abaye says if he's facing the shul, then it is fine, no problem. So as I said last time, Rabbi Isa, if you remember on Wednesday, we said that there is actually a machlokes rishonim between Rashi and Tosfos. I think actually there's two Rashis over here. There's a machlokes exactly how does Rashi learn, but there is machlokes rishonim. What is the problem? And now, what is the problem to daven outside? So there can be two problems, and those two problems are actually contradicting each other. One problem is that you're not facing where everybody else is facing. That's one problem. The second problem is to have your back to the Aron HaKodesh. There's the machlokes rishonim. What is the problem? And it's actually contradicting itself. Why? Because if you're standing in the room over there behind the Aron HaKodesh, according to Rashi, let's say if Rashi says that the problem is that you're not facing where everybody else is facing, then you will have to face to Yerushalayim with your back to the Aron. And according to Tosfos, that is the problem. The problem is that according to Tosfos, if you're standing over there, you should be facing the shul and not Yerushalayim. Yeah, you get the problem. There's like it's contradicting each other. Because according to some Rishonim, the problem is which direction are you facing? You're facing somewhere else where everybody else is facing. That's what Rashi says. It looks chas shalom like the person is not davening to Hashem because everybody's davening to one way and he's davening somewhere else. And then you have the other opinion that says that's not the problem bichlal. The problem is that your back is to the Aron HaKodesh. And therefore, if you're standing outside over there, so according to Rashi, you have to face Yerushalayim. According to Tosfos, you'll also have to face Yerushalayim. So if you're standing over there, it's not such a problem. The problem will be if you're standing over there, behind the Aron HaKodesh. Now, as we saw, if you remember, we saw in the Mishnah Brura on Wednesday, that Lemaise, it's not such a big thing because everybody understands, as the Rambam writes in a tshuva. There's a tshuva from the Rambam that the Rambam wrote to somebody that it's only a problem if everybody can see that this is what he's trying to do. But if there is another room, like the Ezras Nashim, or another room, like in a shtiblach, in a shtiblach, there's a lot of small rooms to daven, like at Or Sameach, you have a lot of rooms to daven, so then the Mishnah Brura says it's not a problem. Then the Mishnah Brura says it's not a problem because Lemaise, everybody sees what you're doing, and then the Mishnah Brura says that Lemaise it is not a problem. Says the Gemara story. So now the story we already see. Now let's try to explain a bit the story better. We saw it on Wednesday. So there was a person that kamatzli achrei beit hakneses. There was a person that davened behind the shul. And Bei Knishta, velo mi'ad rapei lebei Knishta, and he wasn't facing the shul. Chalaf Eliyahu Hanavi, so Eliyahu Hanavi came, itmi leketaya. Eliyahu Hanavi disguised, it's Purim, yeah? He put a costume of an Arab merchant. Amar le kedu bar kayamta kamei marach. He told this person, look what you're doing. you make some chas v'shalom, you make it seems as if chas v'shalom there is chas v'shalom like two different things to daven to, because everybody's davening one direction, you davening in the other direction. Shalaf Safsira v'katlei, he killed him. So we said on Wednesday, it seems like a very difficult story, right? First of all, why does Eliyahu Hanavi has to disguise? Eliyahu Hanavi doesn't have to disguise. Why does he have to dress up? Second, why is this person chayav misa bichlal? Why is he chayav misa? And why is Eliyahu Hanavi needs a sword to kill somebody? He needs a sword to kill a person. So I saw in the Ben Ish Chai, so the Ben Ish Chai says something very nice. He explains it like this. First of all, before the Ben Ish Chai, we saw, I think on Wednesday, we saw the Maharsha. And the Maharsha says that he doesn't really understand why is it he says he doesn't understand why should Eliyahu Hanavi dress up as an Arab, and he doesn't really understand why should Eliyahu Hanavi kill him. And therefore, the Maharsha says that Eliyahu Hanavi got confused. The Maharsha says that maybe the Eliyahu Hanavi got confused and he thought this person is an Arab. He thought this person is an Arab person and he's davening the wrong direction. So he went to kill him. But then the Ben Ish Chai says also, like the Ben Ish Chai says, why are you going to kill somebody who is not Jewish? Yeah, for davening someone who is not supposed to daven. So the Ben Ish Chai says like this. The Ben Ish Chai says that to daven to a different direction where everybody else is davening is common sense. It's common sense. If everybody's davening in one direction and you're davening in the other direction, that's a common sense that it's not the right thing to do. And even somebody who is not Jewish should understand it. Even somebody who is not Jewish should understand it. So therefore, says the Ben Ish Chai, that Eliyahu Hanavi was trying to show to everybody around that even an Arab person should understand it. And that's why he dressed himself up as an Arab person. He dressed himself up as an Arab person to show everybody that even not Jewish people should understand that it's the wrong thing to do, to daven to the wrong direction. And then he adds on, the Ben Ish Chai, he says, why is he chayav misa? So he says, if you remember in the beginning of the Masechet, we said that kol ha'over al divrei chachamim chayav misa. You remember we said in Daf Dalet, I think it was, the person transgressed the Rabbanan is chayav misa. But which misa? Not misa b'idei Adam, not based in misa b'idei Shamayim. So Ben Ish Chai says, so that's why they sent from heaven. Who did they send from heaven? They sent Eliyahu Hanavi from heaven. They sent Eliyahu Hanavi from heaven to kill him, but he dressed up as an Arab to make sure that everybody will understand how bad it is to daven to the wrong direction. So that's a very nice Ben Ish Chai. It's in the Ben Yoyada, which really I think explains this whole thing. So that's regarding the davening. And again, we saw the Shulchan Aruch on Wednesday, and we saw the Mishnah Brura. And when we said that the Shulchan Aruch brings both opinions, and the Shulchan Aruch says that you should try to be careful with these things. Okay, let's go weiter. Says the Gemara. Amru leYahu merabanan lerav Beibai or Beibi barabaye, ve'amri lerav Beibai lerav Nachman bar Yitzchak, mai krum zulus livnei Adam. So if you look in the verse in Tehillim in chapter 12, it says, Saviv reshaim isalachon, krum zulus livnei Adam. What is krum zulus? What is krum zulus? Krum zulus. What's krum zulus? So he says, what's krum zulus? Amar lei elu dvarim ha'oimdim berumo shel oilam, ve'bnei Adam mezalzelim b'hem. So what's krum zulus? So krum, we're going to learn, it means the word rum. What's rum? Rom. Rom means height. Something which is very high is called rom. We say in Parshas Balak, it says to'afos kerom loy. Something like to'afos re'em lo. Re'em, rom. Rom is something very high. Zulus sounds like zol. Zol, lezalzel, means to bilik, to chippen in, to treat something lightly. lezalzel, zol. Zol is the opposite of precious, the opposite of something expensive, something cheap. So he told him like this. It says, you know what's krum zulus? It's taking something precious, taking something important, and misuse it or misrespect it. Treat it lightly. Treat it lightly, which Rashi says is going on what? For example, Rashi says, what's a good example, says Rashi? Davening. Davening is something which a person can really, right? A person can really achieve everything through davening if he's davening properly. And people are not taking it the way they should. Not taking it the way they should. It says, we'll see in the Gemara later on, we'll see Be'ez Hashem about Chasidim Arishonim. Chasidim Arishonim used to spend 9 hours a day davening. 9 hours a day davening. It's Chasidim Arishonim. Rabbi Yochanan, we'll see later on, Be'ez Hashem says, Alevai shispalel Adam kol hayom. He says, I wish a person will just daven the whole day. Rabbi Yochanan said. And so on and so on. So sometimes we see, person, the Shliach Tzibur is davening 7 minutes, 18, then that's it. Tomorrow is not going to have a minyan. Yeah? Tomorrow people will go look for somewhere else. Yeah? And if the Shachis is already taking a bit longer, and so on and so on. So that's Krum Zulus Livnadam. It's something that people are not treating in the right respect, not understanding what they're doing. I think I already said the story over here that Rav Pinkus used to say in South Africa. That Rav Pinkus used to say that this person that didn't have any children, I'm sure I said it over here, but I say it again. That Rav Pinkus, there was a person that didn't have any children. Rav Pinkus told him, I'm coming to fetch you. I'm coming to fetch you. Be ready. Yeah, what? 12 o'clock at night. 12 o'clock at night, be ready. I'm coming to fetch you. And they used to live in Ofakim. He took him out of Ofakim. There was like a desert, not like the Sahara desert, but a small desert, yeah, like in Israel, small desert. And he took him there and he left him over there and he says, now you should daven. Now you should daven. And Rav Pinkus says that he came back after 1 hour and he saw that the guy was not davening still properly. He told him, I'm coming again in another hour, daven again. And the second time he came, he saw that the person was davening properly. He said, okay, now we can go home, and the person had a baby. 9 months later, he had a baby. So if we will understand the koach atfila, akol kol yaakov, hayadayim yedei Esav. Sometimes we think that we have to do things with our hands. We think if I'll make this phone call, and if I'll send this email, and if I'll go to do this and that, no, that's Esav. Akol kol yaakov, akol kol yaakov. That is the thing. It has to be with davening. Somebody called me last week, which spoke about chinuch. Somebody called me last week, and he's a Baal Tshuva, and his father-in-law is secular. Father-in-law secular, and it's not easy. It's not easy what to do. Yeah, secular home. Yeah, it's not easy. So not that I know anything, but what I said was to daven. You're davening to Hashem. You're davening to Hashem. And especially when it comes to children, you can actually tell Hashem, we're partners. The Gemara in Nida says, Shloisha shutafin ba'adam, right? The Kadosh Baruch Hu, the father and the mother, there are 3 partners in a person. So you can say to Hashem, you're my partner. Your partner, right? Imagine you have a business. Right? Imagine you have a business, you have a shop. Simon, imagine you have a garage, right? And your partner, your name is Elon Musk. Simon, your partner name is Elon Musk, and you can't buy a new car. You can't buy a new, I don't know, you're sitting over there. You can't buy new gear. Yeah. And your partner is Elon Musk. You're not going to make a phone call. Can you please send me a new car, a new gear or something like that? So your partner is Hashem. Your partner is Hashem with your children. So you should daven. Obviously you should daven. Say, you're my partner, So for sure then Hashem will answer. Person will speak, will ask properly. For sure Hashem will answer. That's Krum Zulus, and that's Rashi says it's for example. For example is the tefillah that we're not treating it properly, not treating tefillah properly. Mezalzel. What's better? I think both. But I think tefillah is very important. Rav Nachman says Rav Nachman says that if he used to fast a lot. He used to fast. Rav Nachman used to fast a lot. Rav Nachman in Breslau. And he said that once he went to daven. He went to daven. He went to some field, and he went to daven. And he said everything that he asked, he got for. And Hashem, he says Hashem was showing him that I don't need all your fasting. I don't need all your fasting. You can fast for 20 years, yeah? You can just daven, and you can get everything. I think the same thing will be with Tefillah, with Torah. The person, obviously a person should learn, Rabbi Yisrael, and there's plenty to learn, Baruch Hashem, yeah, 24/7. But with Tefillah is the real connection to Hashem. Tefillah is the chibur to Hashem. I told you what the Kuzari says, right? I told you the Kuzari says with this thing that you punch, and it goes like this, and then it comes back, right? He says that people think that when I'm at my shop, at my business, then I'm standing, then I'm using my time properly. When I'm davening, so now I'm taking break from life, right? No, now you're not taking break from life. It says, Sheshet yamim te'aseh melacha. Te'aseh, what's te'aseh? It will be done by itself, right? Te'aseh melacha, not that you te'aseh melacha. Te'aseh melacha. All the money comes from where? All the money comes from Shabbos. So again, it's the same principle as the Kuzari says. The money doesn't come when you go to the shop. The money comes from Shabbos. That we all know. Kihi mekor habracha. So too with davening. Money doesn't come when you go to work. Money comes from the tefillah, from Hashem. Money comes from Hashem. Obviously, I'm not saying you. Obviously, you need to go to open your shop. You need to go to open your business. You need to do ishtadlus, and you need to do what's necessary. But that's not where it's coming from. That's not the source. The source is where? The source is from Hashem. The source is from Hashem. That's where Hashem sends all the things. Okay, Rabbi, so let's go a bit weiter. Yeah, we have a couple more minutes. Let's go weiter. Says the Gemara. Yes. Who says it? The Rav, yeah.
The material of Av 3.
Yes.
The material of Ain is 41. 41 plus 45. 41 plus 3 is
44.
And the other, that's for Dom.
Yes.
And the other is object.
Very nice. And that's big. Okay, so let's see weiter. So Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Elazar the Amrit Ravayu. So again, another perush. What's Krum Zulus? Another perush. What's Krum Zulus? Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Elazar the Amrit Ravayu. Kevan shenitzrach Adam labrios panav mishtanos kikrum. So it seems to me there's a bird. There's a bird that has a lot of colors. Okay, I don't know which bird it is. It's a bird which is called krum. It's a bird which is called krum, and it has a lot of colors. And when a person is going to ask money from somebody else, his face becomes the colors of the rainbow, the colors of this person, of this bird. Sorry, not the color of this bird. So there it says the Gemara. How much when a person comes to ask you for money, how much you should have compassion, yeah, how much you should have compassion for this person, how much you should understand how difficult it is for that person to come and ask for you for help. And as the Turnus Rufus asked Rabbi Akiva, you know, if God has so much money, he should give money to the poor people, right? He should give money to the poor people. Why should we give money to the poor people? Rabbi Akiva told him that Hashem can give money to the poor people. Hashem doesn't need you to give money to the poor people. Hashem doesn't need you, but you need the mitzvah. You need the zchus. You need the merit. The person who gives the money, he needs the zchus. As the Choves Levavos says that he never understood the poor man that's coming to say thank you to the rich man. Yeah. He never understood why is the poor man saying thank you to the rich man, as if he would not get the money otherwise. If Hashem said he should get the money, he will get the money. That's it. So the Choves Levavos says in Shara B'tachon. So, not that I'm saying not to say thank you. Yeah? It is good to say thank you. I gave money to somebody. Mamash, I gave somebody money on Friday. It wasn't my money. Somebody gave me to give him for Shabbos. And he didn't say thank you. He said it's from Hashem. That's what he said. Last Friday. And I thought to myself, okay, it wasn't my money, so I'm not thinking, but I'm saying, I don't think that it's so. I didn't tell him, I'm saying, but I'm just telling you that I think when somebody gives you money, obviously you should say thank you. Yeah, that's obviously, you say you shouldn't, obviously it's from Hashem. We know it's from Hashem, but still we have some we are shaliach, and we need to have some manners, you know, some derech eretz, obviously. Say thank you, please, and sorry. But there's one person here that gives me to the one person over here that gives me to the koilel, and he always tells me, he told me many times that if somebody doesn't say to him thank you properly, he doesn't give him. And he tells me that he used to give a lot of people, different people, and he stopped. Every person that doesn't say thank you properly, he stopped giving. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I'm saying that for sure it's important to say thank you. So again, Rabbi said, person comes to you and he's asking for money. So you have to understand that you have to think, what would you feel if you would be in his shoes? What would you feel if it would be in his shoes? You know, the Ponovitcher Rav used to go all over the world, yeah, Johannesburg, Cape Town, yeah, South America, everywhere, for years and years and years, going around fundraising for decades and decades. And he used to say that even though he's fundraising for 50 years, whatever he was fundraising, whenever he knocks on the door, he's always davening that the person should not be home. He's always davening, Alevai, the person should not be home. Yeah, so he shouldn't have that thing. This is the Ponovitcher Rav after how many years of davening. So the person is coming to you and he's calling you, you know, he's asking for money. You have to try to make it as easy as possible. That's number one. Number two, Rabbi, so we said in the Daf Yomi a couple of weeks ago, maybe more than a couple of weeks ago, I don't remember. We said that when somebody is asking you for money, then it depends. If he needs the money for business, he needs to save his business, then people tell him, I don't have. But when he's asking for food, when he's down and out, then suddenly people have money. I don't remember where. I don't think it was in the last 30 days. I think it was a bit more than 30 days. I don't remember. Maybe it was don't remember what it was. Maybe in Moed Katan, I don't remember. Yeah, so you're the Gemara is saying. What I'm saying, somebody is coming to you and you have money, and the person is going through difficulties in his business, in his things, and you can help him. Then you say, please help me. Which one is a bigger mitzvah? To help him then, or to help him when he's gone, when he's finished, when he went bankrupt, and now he's going out asking for money. So the Torah says it's much bigger mitzvah to save him before he falls down, right? V'lo yamuch achicha imach. V'lo yamuch, says Rashi, you should catch him before he falls down. Don't catch him after he's down. Catch him before he falls down. But says the Gemara, what does people think? People think, okay, you know, he still has what to eat. I don't need to give him tzedakah. I'll wait until he'll be down and then I'll help him. I told you the story, Rabbi Isai. The story with the guy, there was a guy that fell off the ship. He fell off the ship, he was drowning. So there was one guy on the deck. There was one guy on the ship and he watched it. So the guy is drowning. He's calling out to this person on the deck, and the person on the deck says, don't worry, I got you covered. Don't worry, I'm coming to save you. Don't have to worry. And he's not going. And the person is keeping on like trying to swim and nothing. And then he says, don't worry, I got you covered. Don't worry. And then he's already going down. He's already down. He's already under the water, and you can only see his hand. And then the person jumped off the ship. He went and he took him off the sea. He took him out, and he was already dead. He had to bring him back to life. And then he had to go to the hospital for 3 months. After 3 months, he finally woke up. And he says, why didn't you save me from the beginning? He said, come on, that's not a big thing. Then you were still alive. You know, I managed to save your life. You were already dead. Now I managed to save you. Right? So that's what the Gemara says. The Gemara says that people don't have money. When they see a person struggling, people don't have money to help him. But when they see that he's down and out, now everybody wants to help him. That's what the Gemara says. And that's what the Torah says, it's not good. It's not good. The Torah says you should try to save him before. Try to save him before, not to try to save him when he's already down. When he's already down, says the Gemara, is krum zulus. He has the face of a krum. I don't know how this krum looks like, but it sounds like it's like the rainbow. Sounds like it's like the rainbow, and then it's not good. Yeah, his face is red and white and purple and green, and then it's not good, and it's not good, Rabbi Issa. So that's, as we said, person should be very, very careful not to embarrass somebody who's coming to ask for money, and always to be melamed zchus on him. Always to be melamed zchus on him. Never to treat him with disrespect, never to shout at him, chas v'shalom. That's very, very important, Rabbi Issa. It says in the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, כל המלבין פני חברו ברבים אין לו חלק לא יהיה למבא, רחמנא ליצלן. Yeah, we know the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos. Everybody knows this Mishnah. כל המלבין פני חברו ברבים אין לו חלק לא יהיה למבא. And this is really easy to embarrass somebody who doesn't think. We just said now in Chagiga. It says in the end of Koheles, it says, על הכל יביא אלוקים, אם טוב במשפט. הכל יביא אלוקים במשפט, אם טוב, מי טוב ועד רע. The last verse, I think it's the last verse, one verse before the end. It says Hashem is also going to judge a person for the good things. Hashem is going to judge a person mi tov and ra. Tov and ra. So the Gemara says, what does it mean judging a person for a good thing? Why should you judge a person for a good thing? Says the Gemara a few examples. One of the examples is what? That you're giving a tzedakah to the poor man in public and you're embarrassing him. You're embarrassing him. You're giving him the tzedakah in public, you're embarrassing him. And the Gemara says a story that one of the rabbis, I think it was Rabbi Yanai, that he saw the person giving tzedakah in the public and he embarrassed him, and he told him it would have been better if you would not have given. Listen to this, Rabbi Issa, listen to this Gemara. Chagiga, that's what we're doing now, Chagiga. He told him it would have been better if you would not have given than now that you gave him and you embarrassed him. Listen to this, unbelievable. So that's what the Gemara says, krum zulus, person that nitzach labrios. Panav mishtanos kakrum, sheneemar krum zulus livnei adam. I just want to finish off, Rabbi Issa, with the Chasam Sofer. Beautiful Chasam Sofer, mamash, a Hasidic word from the Chasam Sofer, not a simple understanding. He says, the Chasam Sofer says like this, Kevan shenitzrach adam labrios. Nitzrach adam labrios, says the Chasam Sofer, it's not that he needs money. He's nitzrach labrios. What's nitzrach? People need him. Not kevan shetzarich labrios. Shenitzrach labrios. What does it mean nitzrach labrios? It says he became a rabbi. He became a rabbi. He says he became a rabbi and now he's nitzrach labrios. Now everybody needs him. He became a rabbi. He says now his face is going to be like the rainbow. Why? Because when you're a rabbi, you have to know how to deal with each one differently. Like Yoshua, right? It says, Ish asher ruach bo, right? Ish asher ruach bo. Yes, Elokei Aruchot. Rashi says on Elokei Aruchot in Parshas Pinchas that you need somebody that will know how to treat each one differently, right? Elokei Aruchos, right? Like Ish asher ruach boy. Kach et Yoshua, Ish asher ruach boy, that he knows how to treat each one differently. So the rabbi needs to know how to treat each one differently, right? Sometimes you need to be nice to one guy and you need to be mean to the other guy, right? So the Chasam Sofer says that Kevan shenitzrach adam labrios, he became the rabbi, then panav mishtanos kikrum. That's the Chasam Sofer. Always say thank you very much. Zeige bench. Bina, right? The understanding. Always said this week, Be'ez Hashem, 5 to 6. Be'ez Hashem. Thank you very much.